let me just to make that my long question as simple as possible. Is it your view that if we get to a place where it's clear that Senator Sanders faces an insurmountable delegate deficit, that he should, at that point, when he realizes that, get out of the race, get behind Joe Biden so the party can coalesce as quickly as possible? Because every day that the party is still fighting this nomination fight is another day when Donald Trump's running unopposed in the battleground states.
I would hope so. And it's hard. Look, it's hard, especially when you've been building up a campaign and you've got all your supporters. And I remember that process of looking at the math. But again, hopefully you run for president in order to serve your values, not the other way around. And if our values are best served, as I think ultimately they will be, by unifying as quickly as possible and taking the fight to Donald Trump, then at a certain point that creates, I certainly felt as a candidate, that created a responsibility for me, as painful as it was, to step out. And I think that when the math isn't there, you got to get real.
So, Mr. Mayor, this campaign is now being run against the backdrop of the coronavirus. You just came off the campaign trail. You're well aware of its rigors. It's big crowds. It's shaking hands. It's kissing babies. The three candidates that are left, including the one you support, Joe Biden, are all in their 70s. This virus disproportionately affects, it's significantly more negative towards people who are older. Is it appropriate for not just the candidates' healths, but for those around them, those supporters who are coming to these rally halls night after night? Should this campaign continue in this form with rallies? We're talking about potentially even the conventions this summer. Should this still be happening like this in the midst of this virus outbreak?
I do think this is a time for rethinking what campaigning looks like. And it's a good moment for that. Look, the style of campaigning has always evolved from, people campaigning on their front porch and just the crowds would come to them, to whistle-stop tours on trains. Now it might be forced by this crisis, but with all of the different capabilities and possibilities for reaching voters, we should find new ways to do this if it's the right thing to do, not just for the candidate's safety, but for that of the voters. I hope that each candidate is having a very serious conversation with their security teams, who probably are not traditionally focused on this form of security, but need to think about the security implications. Again, for the candidate, yes, but for everybody involved, about practicing campaigning as we know it.
Mayor Pete, I'm curious about the day that you endorsed Joe Biden. Everything really came together, from Beto to Amy to you, all stepping up and coalescing around him. Can you give us some insight as to how that came about, and was there someone involved that really brought you all together?
No, it was really a decision that was on my mind as soon as I knew that I was going to get out. The next question, of course, was should I make an endorsement? And I thought if I'm going to do it, I should do it when it would make a difference. And I felt pretty clear about it on Sunday, the day I got out, but I wanted to sleep on it. Woke up Monday morning, nothing had changed my mind. I said, okay, let's find a way to do this. And part of it was based on not just the policies and the ideas, but we really get to know each other when you're running for president. Mm-hmm. All the rivals, competitors, whatever you want to call us, right? We're on those debate stages together. We're bumping into each other all the time, and there's a fundamental decency. I remember at the debate, everybody comes off. You're in a really high energy, kind of really keyed up kind of state, and you would see Joe Biden talking with the stagehands on the side, while a lot of us were just kind of pacing and thinking about what we were going to say next. And throughout the process, this kind of decency at a moment when just as important as getting the policies right, obviously, and fixing the mismanagement of this administration is just the way that we treat each other in this country. And I felt that there were all these rhymes, even though we're obviously very different people, different messengers, different styles, but there was this rhyme between what I believe my campaign was about and what he is practicing. And we went down to Texas to be with him at that event, and I spent some time with him in the vehicle as we were headed over there. And it was very reassuring just to remember the kind of decency that he's carried with him, and I think will make such a difference in the White House.
Well, Mayor Pete, thank you so much for being on this morning. We love having you on, as you know. We really enjoyed having you on throughout the campaign, and hope you'll come back very soon.
Look forward to it. Anytime.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.